One of the most common symptoms of dementia is apathy. It's often mistaken for resistant behavior or laziness. As the clinician in the video explains, apathy is like a car without a starter motor. The person with dementia has difficulty initiating and engaging in activities that he previously enjoyed. He may require assistance in initiating activities. Bruce, the caregiver, is frustrated by his failed attempts to engage his wife and her lack of response to his efforts. Bruce is also upset by his angry responses to his wife. The simulation allows Bruce to practice new approaches for engaging his wife in activities she used to enjoy. He also learns to recognize and deal with his own loss and grief due to the changes he sees in his wife.
So Bruce, you were telling me that you're having some trouble with your wife not really wanting to do activities with you. And there was one particular incident you mentioned about the shoes.
The shoes.
I wonder if you could tell Debbie, our SP, a little bit about what happened that time.
Esther is sitting on a chair in the living room.
Okay.
That's what she does. I had been doing the housework, finished the vacuuming. I said, Esther, do you want to go for a walk? And she sits there, says nothing.
And she's just looking out the window, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I said, Esther, look, you haven't done anything all day. Let's go out for a walk. You need the activity. She says nothing. I bring the shoes and I put them beside her.
Okay.
I said, put your shoes on. She says, you put your shoes on.
Oh.
I don't want to go. So I got impatient. I felt terrible. I yelled at her, and I don't do that. I've never done that.
Yeah, yeah. It sounds like it was an extremely frustrating situation for you.
It was.
I think this would be a good situation to try and reenact so that maybe I can give you some help with what happened.
All right.
All right?
Sure.
So in terms of being able to work with Bruce, is there anything else you'd like to know about the situation that would be helpful?
So when you started talking about the walk, and she was looking out the window, did you come in from behind? Did you come in?
Yeah, I was behind her.
You were behind her, okay. Yeah. And she said, no, you put your shoes on, I don't want to go, something like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
You go.
You go. Okay. And did it get loud, or did it just?
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess I get a little bossy, and I got frustrated, and I tried to put her. I tried to actually help her, and she didn't want it, so I just walked out.
Okay. So you tried to put her shoes on?
I said, "You're making." I felt terrible.
Yeah.
Okay. And did she say anything when you were trying to put the shoes on?
No.
Okay. Well, I think I have enough to, unless there's something you think I should fill in?
You know what would be helpful, I think, is if you actually stand up and walk in the same way that you did when it happened.
All right. Can I use your shoes?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
And I'll just, we can set up the chairs so that you're coming in from behind, and yeah.
Is that going to work?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's do
thanks.
that then. Okay, so here's my shoes.
Thanks.
All right. So you're going to stand over here,
All right.
and you'll walk in
move
the
the
same way that you
chair.
did when it happened.
Okay.
All right. So, whenever you're ready.
Esther, you want to go for a walk? Esther, you haven't done anything all day today. Let's go outside. You need some activity.
I don't want to.
Put your shoes on, and we'll go out.
You put your shoes on. I don't want to go.
Okay, time out. It seems like you weren't sure what to do there, and I saw that you were getting a bit frustrated and angry. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, one thing...
I don't want to insult her.
No, of course not. You really care about her. That's very clear.
Thanks.
How did it feel for you to be trying to do that? Was it like the way it was happening before?
Yeah.
Felt the way it did before? Okay. So how about we hear from Debbie about what it felt like for her?
When you came in and said that we needed to go for a walk, I felt like annoyed and a little interrupted. And then when you said, you know, I had to put my shoes on, I just felt like bossed around, like unheard.
What's it like to hear that, Bruce?
Well, I actually, I do use the word, I think of bossy myself
bossy.
sometimes. I get frustrated though, you know?
Yeah.
But I think she needs the activity. She needs to be stimulated, you know?
Well, you know, it's actually a misconception that people with dementia would have a better course or slower progression with activity. Activity is great in terms of connecting and quality of life, but it doesn't slow things down. So, you know, one of the things that I was thinking might be useful is to have a bit of a slower pace. And you were coming in from behind. Sometimes it's more helpful to make eye contact, to make sure you have her attention before you start talking to her.
That makes sense.
Okay. So, Bruce, why don't you try that again with some of those suggestions?
Okay. All right.
Okay, just exactly where we were before.
Okay.
Okay.
Esther, let's go out for a walk.
I don't want to go.
You've been sitting there all day. You haven't done anything. You need the activity. Let's put your shoes on.
You put your shoes on. I don't want to go.
Okay. So it seemed like you weren't sure what to do.
No.
Yeah. How did it feel for you to try it that way?
Well, when I touched her shoulder, actually, she looked at me,
Yeah.
and that was kind of. I mean, I
Yeah.
liked looking at her.
Of course.
So that felt. I felt more comfortable.
Yeah. You did a wonderful job with getting her attention, and your tone was lovely. But I think she actually needs the help. Why don't we hear from Debbie and see what that was like that time?
So when you came in and touched my shoulder, I felt comforted, and I was happy that you were there. When you were insisting again that we go for a walk and I put my shoes on, I felt a little annoyed and kind of confused.
What's that like to hear?
Well, like I say, I don't want to insult her. We've had a long, loving relationship, and it's so different now.
Yeah.
It makes me sad, you know.
Of course it makes you sad. Of course it makes you
What are you
sad.
gonna do?
There's a lot of loss. There's a lot of grief. She's changed so much. And unfortunately, that's part of her illness. I know that she's not responding to you the way she used to.
No, I feel sometimes like, well, I mean, I'm there, but I don't
Yeah.
feel like we're
Sure.
as connected as we used to be.
Right. It's still possible to do things together that might make you feel more connected. For example, if getting her up and going for a walk is very, very challenging and you're getting into fights about it, maybe there's another kind of activity that would work better. Maybe looking at photos together or music.
Yeah, she likes music.
Yeah. So there might be other ways to do activities together that don't cause the fight. We don't want you clashing all the time.
Doesn't help.
No. So how about you try it one more time? This time you're going to really focus on the eye contact, showing your own warmth that I know you feel, and trying to help her because you have to be her starter motor. She can't initiate now, and she might not even know how to put her shoes on anymore, which I know is sad to think about, but really it'll decrease her confusion and help her get going. So Bruce, how about you try that again?
Okay.
This time you're going to help her put her shoes on.
Okay, all right.
Okay, we'll just go back to the exact same spot.
Sure.
All right. Okay, so whenever you're ready.
Hi. Let's put your shoe on. Can you give me your foot? Your right foot. That's great. I'm just going to put the shoe on. Perfect. Good job. And the other foot? That's great. Good. And maybe now what we'll do is if you get up from the chair. Good. Excellent. And let's go for a walk. Come on. Go to the front.
Okay, let's time out there.
Okay, thanks.
So that was quite different, Bruce.
It was different, yeah.
How did it feel for you?
A lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah. More normal.
Yeah, yeah. I really noticed how you were interacting with her was different.
Yeah?
Let's find out from Debbie how it felt from her perspective.
Yeah. When you explained what was going on, I felt comfortable and secure. And when you said "good job," I really felt encouraged.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's it like to hear that?
Reassuring.
Yeah.
Um,
Was it difficult to do?
It wasn't really difficult to do. It's just accepting that I have to do it.
Yeah.
You know, like, but you were saying before, I guess, would you call it grieving or?
Yeah. There's a lot of loss with dementia.
But it felt better. I mean, that's kind of like what would happen.
Right.
You know, and,
Yeah.
and it was nice that we weren't struggling,
Right.
and Esther wouldn't. I mean, I guess if I go fast. When I was helping her with her shoes, we
Yeah.
were looking at each other. I mean, we were. It's better than me standing way up.
So what do you think you can take home and try at home with Esther?
Well, definitely speaking from behind her. It makes sense. It doesn't. It doesn't help.
Work.
No, it doesn't. So making the eye contact, I guess. So it means. And then what you were saying, if I go a little slower, then I can get it simpler. I guess what I'm wanting. I don't know. I get bossy like we did before, but I don't feel that way now. I did not like feeling like I didn't yell. I yelled at her, and I've never done that, and I don't want to do it
feels
again.
painful. Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
But that was better.
And I think all of those things are important. I think it's also important to help her do things, to help her start things, as much as it is painful and sad to know that you have to. It's going to improve the connection with her, and less fighting, less friction. Okay.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you go home and you'll try that.
I will. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I'm glad.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you from all the staff at the Reitman Center.